Welcome to another episode of That Solo Life, the podcast for PR pros and marketers who work for themselves. People like me, Michelle Kane with Voice Matters, and my wonderful co-host Karen Swim of Solo PR Pro. How are you, Karen?
I'm great, Michelle. Thank you. I'm sorry. The thumbs up, I'm like getting used to this because I've been doing really like working on silent training with my dog over the past few days. And so the thumbs up is in lieu of good girl or good job. And so I've gotten used to
I will
like
accept
doing
it. I'll accept a thumbs up in that context, absolutely.
Yeah.
Or even the Fonzie yay context. That's
I've
all
been giving
good.
the thumbs up to my dog a lot. So sorry about that. I know that some people don't like that and it's supposed to be old, but it is a part of dog training and it's one of the gestures that they understand. So
I think it's a classic gesture. And, if you're going to be using your hands for any gestures, that's the one you want to receive. Yeah. So just saying.
Listen, my dog likes it. And we had a nice, silent training walk this morning. It was beautiful.
Oh, that's wonderful. Good for you. My little hooligans are still little squirrels, but we're getting there. But what we've really come to talk to you about today is not just our little canine, I don't know, things.
Companions.
There we go. We want to talk about things we hope to see in 2023. Oh my goodness, it even rhymes. How about us? Yeah. So, it's a great time to, again, reset our expectations or create new expectations and just think ahead of what do we want to see in our business lives, our personal lives, our work. It's really a great time, honestly, to just take a chunk of time and consider, who do I want to work with this year? Even if you have a full plate, who would it be neat to work with? Is it a certain industry where I always love learning things when I work with different industries? Do you want to get a client in a particular trade show? Do you maybe want to learn a new skill? What is it? What do you hope to see?
I mean, for me overall, I would love to see a return to being able to celebrate in 2023. I feel like humanity has lost its ability to celebrate things. Anything good that happens, everybody's so grinchy about it and they are critical and they just go straight to the negative. So I'd love for humans to return to that ability to just be happy, just be happy, be able to congratulate people and really mean it and really be able to celebrate people and have joy.
I love it.
So I hope that joy and kindness and celebrations return in 2023.
I agree. I even check myself, and it's usually the tape in my head. But I've been checking myself lately because again, a lot of what we do throughout our day is troubleshooting and could put us in a negative space. But I'm thinking, ooh, wait a second. Have I gone over the edge? Do I need to pull back a bit? And it's funny, looking back to our lovely Philadelphia Phillies playoff run this year, I think one of the reasons that was such a great unifier was because, oh my gosh, something good is happening and we can all celebrate it together. And I think it was heightened to a place that was not quite our norm. And I'm sure that's why, because it was just something, oh my gosh, we can actually just be happy about this.
Those reasons are around us every day, and I've noticed since I've taken more of a step back from social media that, my goodness, people just step on stuff and they will step on your rainbow in a heartbeat and not just be happy. So I hope that 2022 season into that and that 2023 is a much different year.
I agree. I just get the sense it's going to be a page turning year, because we've all been through a lot of stuff these past 3 years that we're still processing. So I hope 2023 is a year where we can take a fresh look at, everything we do, take a fresh look at our outlooks, take a fresh look at, our perceptions of others and the way we do things. It's really kind of a, take stock and see what can come of that. that's productive and positive and not just, it feels like I think what we're coming out of is a fight or flight mode. So it's natural. In fact, I read something on social media today, but talking about how, there's a reason why we collectively feel tired because we have collectively been through so much together these past few years. So, if you are feeling a little, that's okay. Honor that. But, I challenge you, make a list of 5 things that you're looking forward to in this year and add it to the little jar we talked about last week.
Yeah. So, Michelle, what's one of the things you're looking forward to in 2023?
I think more space, just more margins.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that. And I know that starts and ends with me. So, just developing those habits and not, again, feeling in that fight or flight of, okay, let's keep everyone going. I think we can all take a time to just, how about you?
I love that. I would love to see an end to the practice of terrible payment arrangements and lowballing solos.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Are we payment arrangements that are 90 days, 180 days, and looking at you, Keurig.
I was going to say Dr. Pepper.
No 1 year without payment. I love to see an end to those practices. I'd love to see an end to people thinking that they're, bartering and coming up with creative options in lieu of pay. Agreed. There should not be anything in lieu of hard, cold, pay me for the value that I'm bringing to your company, period, ever.
Agree.
Now, if you want to add something on top of paying me for my time, please feel free to do that. I am just not a fan of any alternative payment arrangements because it ends up not being able to pay your bills.
Agree. And another thing that almost goes hand in hand is, I would love to see in 2023 the perception of solos as legit companies. I mean, we are legit. And I think sometimes because you're just presenting as yourself, people can just say, oh, well, what is it you dally in? And you think, I'm sorry, I have done nothing but present to you as a full-on company with a whole list of capabilities. And okay, I would just love to see more of that. I mean, thankfully, I don't really experience that, but I see it out there. And it's just the shift of attitude of,
Solos getting the respect that we deserve.
Yes, exactly.
I would also love to see companies, this is, again, something that came out in the comments around the whole work a year without getting paid fiasco that hit the news. But one of the comments in an article, which was extremely valid, is that pay practices that are extremely long, and we've all seen those payment terms from big companies. So they want to hire us to do the work.
Yeah.
But then they don't want to adjust their contracts that really fit a smaller business. And what that does is that it prohibits you. So you talk about diversity, you talk about inclusion, but then your practices don't really line up because smaller businesses or diverse organizations are often the ones that cannot bear those long payment terms. They just don't have the margins to be able to do that.
Right.
If you really want to diversify and be inclusive, then you need to look at all of your touch points. And this is where I've unfortunately seen it over and over again in corporate America. Diversity is just a checkbox. So you all are putting in these initiatives and you're not even really understanding the value of them and how impactful they are to people. It's just checking a box and it's not something that you're personally connected to, which is why you're just checking a box and you're not making real change. And that's infuriating.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think the point they're missing is that it would be to their benefit to give it legitimate attention and energy.
Yeah. And I mean, diversity does not necessarily just mean, gender or ethnicity or abilities. It also means size. You guys are ruling out small firms with your practices, and that is simply unacceptable when small firms might really be the best choice, but then they can't live not getting paid for 6 months. That's just ridiculous. Please fix that in 2023.
Yeah, because as far as I know, I can't walk into the store and just grab a bottle of Dr. Pepper and say, "I'll catch you next year with this payment."
Yeah, it's like I'm going to just shop for my groceries
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
and that's how I'm going to support you. I'm
yeah,
doing the work of shopping on my own. You don't have to
yeah,
fill my cart, but go ahead and take out a loan for,
yeah,
what I owe, and I'll pay you in 2024.
yeah. It just makes no sense to me. I'm sure there is some accounting issue there that we're not privy to that benefits them, but it's just, I don't know.
Don't care. Hate it.
I'm, yeah, I'm curious as to how they can't see that creates a whole different problem for them looking really, really bad. But what do I know?
Well, I mean, the same goes in my opinion. And I know that, no offense to solos who have taken these arrangements, but over the span of my career, often I've been, offered things like stock options in a startup. No,
Oh,
thank you.
no.
I invest, I'm building wealth on my own. Thank you very much. And I've not done a bad job of it. If I wanted to invest in your business, I would invest in your
Right.
business.
I would,
Don't ask me to invest my work. And then here's the thing that really I think that we have to be realistic about. There's nothing wrong with taking options or other bonuses, but they should be a bonus, not in lieu of paying you for the work
yes.
that you're doing.
Oh my goodness,
Period.
yes. Yeah. I mean,
Period.
this is not the same as if you are a major film star and you're taking points on the back end, for box office, because that in its of itself is a certain guarantee. Stock options for a startup, that's not
But
a
can we talk about
guarantee.
their margins are probably a bit higher than what you're dealing with
A
as
little bit.
well?
A little
And
bit.
yeah, and you can liken it to employees who have options, but an
Yeah,
employee also gets a salary. They're
exactly.
not getting a salary and only getting options. Options are treated as a bonus.
Yeah.
So it's something on top of. So if you look at these alternative offerings as a bonus on top of being paid, but you should never give away your right to be paid because again, you have a business to run and your business doesn't run on maybes. It just
Correct.
doesn't. You
No.
need to be able to pay your vendors, you need to be able to pay your subcontractors, you need to be able to pay your bills, and you need to have certain profit margins. And I think that we in 2023 have to get more serious about that.
I agree. I agree. Another thing I'd love to see in 2023, and it's a process, but the return to the value of truth.
Oof.
We keep ringing the mismal disinformation bell, and I get the sense that collectively we're starting to, as a collective society, push back on that a bit of no, that's not true. That's not acceptable. But boy, I hope it really continues to grow because it just make life so much easier. Would it be nice to, and I'm sure I'm naive in what I'm about to say, go back to the days where the only mistruth was in the National Enquirer and you could roll your eyes at it?
Wait, does that paper still exist, by the way? Because I don't even know.
Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to look it up. I don't know.
Yeah, I could be just looking past it because it's funny. I saw a recent interview with Jay Leno after his accident, and he was
Yes.
holding up. So they must still print it actually, because I think he was
Oh,
holding. Oh, now I'm not sure. Anyway, it was the cover of a National Enquirer, whether it was digital or paper.
no,
I don't.
no,
It
it
had to
still
be
exists.
paper. It had
I
to be
just
paper
Googled it.
because my first thought was the headlines about his accident were so ridiculous and out there. I thought, oh man, you should frame that because that would be a really great souvenir.
That is so
Okay.
funny.
That's a
And
bunny
it's
trail.
really hilarious that neither of us really knew if it really existed or if that was a relic from the past, but it does still exist. Who
Apparently it
knew?
does. Yeah, wouldn't it be nice to go back to those days where, you didn't have to discern everything that came out of someone's mouth or that was put in print? Oh, that would be nice. But, I hope that collectively we could be more aware that sometimes people have agendas and sometimes people just don't present the truth. And I would love to see that come back a little bit in 2023.
I would love to see that too. Considering our word of the year was gaslighting, maybe next year it could not be that. That would be great.
Was it Stephen Colbert truthiness?
Truthiness. That would be amazing.
Oh my gosh.
I also hope in 2023 that we see, I hope it's the year of the solos. I
Mm,
really do. I hope that at the end of 2023, we are celebrating that solos were given opportunities that they always deserve, that they were
yeah.
paid for their value, and that we shine. I mean, we've already started to see that, in the last half of this year, so many of our solos have won like multiple awards and been honored and
Yes.
recognized, and they're doing great things. Well, I hope that that continues and grows in 2023, that we could say solos kicked butt this year, and we're not the only ones who know it, but the rest of the world knows it too.
I agree. I agree because our ranks are growing,
Yes.
and I would hope to add on to that, that the world's perception of us is validated, because I think so often it's either you're employed or you're unemployed. But there are so many of us that are self-employed, and not even just, solo PR pros. You've got some, contractors, people that are, as far as I knew, that was the American dream, right? To be able to do your own thing. And it just feels like sometimes we're overlooked in the big scheme of things. And if people wonder why is the landscape changing? People are not working. Oh, we're working, but we're working as ourselves, for ourselves. So hopefully that will also be part of the year of the solo in 2023. I think we've just declared it, so it has to happen,
It
right?
has to happen. I mean, and I hope that, let's not leave vendors out of this. I
No.
hope in 2023 that you vendors out there who make tools for PR people, will really start to rethink your methodologies.
Yes.
Being transparent about your prices, being realistic about them and what you actually offer, because it's ridiculous the amount of money that we spend. It's terrible that you really treat solos like we don't matter at all and you could care less. We can afford you or we can't.
Right.
And it's really terrible that sometimes, even when you're trying to do real comparisons, that people are so tight with their information, they don't want to tell you the price and what you get for that. I mean, it seems so simple, like just be upfront and honest. If I can't afford you, then please don't make me sit through a 1 hour demo with you just to get to the information that I need, because then I've wasted your time and
Exactly.
mine sitting through something that I'm not going to be able to afford. It's just stupid. And I think part of
Yeah.
the reasons that vendors do that, it's this old style sales technique that you have to get me on the phone so that you could sell me.
Yes.
You're not solution oriented, but also it's because y'all have so many dang on pricing structures going on that you probably don't even know what it is from day to day.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, 100%. And, we've been at this long enough where you can feel it from the first 30 seconds of, oh, is this how it is? And I just want to interrupt them and say, just tell me how much,
Yes.
because you're costing me money right now. So,
Oh, I've done that. I mean,
yeah.
and those, don't be afraid to push back.
No.
I said, listen, I'm just going to be 100% real with you. I don't want a demo. I need to know the price, because if it's out of my price range, then I'm not sitting through a demo. Just how much is it?
Yeah.
And
You're not.
sometimes that's where the conversation ends. Like, I
Yeah.
can't pay $10,000 a year
Yeah.
for that.
And
So
that's okay. Don't dazzle me and make me think how great this is going to be and then hit me with the price tag. And then now I'm just annoyed.
yes. So PR tools, resources, vendors, please, I hope in
Yes.
2023 that you take us into consideration
Yes.
and that you make some changes that would help us. We're part of the whole small business in America landscape. And believe it or not, I know that you guys court the billion-dollar companies, but small businesses are the economic engine of this country. Can we
are.
get a little more respect?
Yeah. And you know what? You're just leaving money on the table,
Yes.
because you might not get the $10,000 subscription, but even if you get a lower subscription, it's money you didn't have yesterday. And it may cost you a little bit to alter, but I doubt it, because it's still the same tool. You're just, whatever. Rant over. Don't get me started. Well, I also hope for 2023, we talk about celebrating our wins, and I hope we make the time and we really honor our satisfaction with what we're doing. And maybe for some of you, that could be, I don't know, do you want to change it up a little bit? Do you want to change the way you're offering your services? Is it time to create packages? I don't know what that looks like for you. But, be okay with that. And maybe just take a little time with yourself and say, I've been doing this for a while. Is this still what I want to be doing? Okay, well, how can I make things interesting? How can I make things more appealing? We talked about vendors making things more appealing. How can we maybe make our services more appealing that the clients that we want to attract will say, oh, yeah, you know what? I want to work with you.
I love it. So I think that leads us into, maybe it's not the final thing that I want to see, but maybe the final thing that I'll share today is that I hope 2023 is a return to fun for all of us, because I feel like we just haven't had enough fun. So
no, we have not.
Let's have some fun in the new year.
I think that is a great idea. We give you permission. It is okay to have fun. I think, sometimes we're head down so much, and again, been through a lot these past 3 years, that not that we're afraid, but it's like, can we look up now? Not that we haven't done fun things throughout the year, but it's just the general outlook of the expectation of fun as opposed to the expectation of what's going to ruin this. I think we need to just change our outlook a bit and make space for fun, create situations that are fun, because you know what? That gives you energy. It lights you up. It doesn't drag you down. It makes you look forward to every day. And that is what we hope for you in the coming year. And if this helped you at all, please share it around, subscribe, tell all your friends, business owners, or people who could just use a little giggle. And until next time, thanks for listening to That's All a Life.